Welcome back to our channel. Have you ever pondered the origins of all nations? It's fascinating to discover that the Bible addresses the source of the world's peoples, revealing that they all trace back to Noah. Join me on this new video series where we delve into the patriarchs of humanity, the ancestors of all nations. In our previous video, we explored the Semitic peoples, descendants of Shem. Today, we will focus on the African peoples, specifically the black people, who are the descendants of Ham, known as the Hamites. I invite you to like the video and share your comments after watching, helping us reach a wider audience with our content. Together, let's uncover the origins of Ham, the ancestral father of the black people. After the cataclysmic flood that devastated the world, Noah and his family emerged as the sole survivors of humanity. God instructed them to repopulate the earth. The group consisted of 8 individuals, including Noah, his wife, their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and the wives of their sons. The Bible also reveals the origin of the black people, disclosing the ancestor of this ancient people. To learn about the history of the African people, refer to Genesis chapter 10, verses 6 to 20. Understanding the origins of the black people requires grasping the identity of their father within this ethnic group. In this context, it is important to consider the appearance of Noah, the great ancestral father of all humanity, as well as his wife. Both Noah and his wife had mixed racial backgrounds, meaning they had ancestry from various ethnicities. This diversity resulted in children with different skin tones, colors, and features, reflecting the ethnic variety within their family. Brazil, for instance, possesses a remarkable characteristic of ethnic diversity due to its history of colonization by the Portuguese, the presence of native indigenous peoples, and the arrival of African slaves. This diversity has made Brazil a nation where people from all origins around the world come together, resulting in one of the largest mixed-race populations globally. It is common to see siblings with different colors and ethnicities in Brazil and other countries, with Mexico being a notable example of this phenomenon. Mexico has a significant population of mestizos, descendants of the intermixing between native indigenous peoples and European colonizers, primarily Spanish. The son of Noah who gave rise to the African people, the black people, was named Ham. Ham is considered the father of the African people, and it is through him and his wife that the black people originated. If you're interested in learning more about the history of Ham's wife or the wives of Noah's sons, please leave the comments below for future videos. In the realm of linguistic analysis of biblical names, it is both intriguing and captivating to observe that the name Ham carries a specific significance in Hebrew and Aramaic. Etymologically, Ham denotes the color of something burnt, essentially referring to a dark hue. This implies that Ham was described as an individual with dark skin. The meanings of biblical names often correlate with the ethnic and physical attributes of individuals and can also be connected to aspects of their personalities. Ham is acknowledged as the progenitor of the black people. If you have any black relatives within your family or lineage, it is important to recognize that you are a descendant of Ham. Similarly, if you identify as a black person watching this video, know that you are a descendant of Ham, the son of Noah. The Bible also mentions that Ham was a married man with a wife, and he fathered 4 sons who became the patriarchs of the black people. These sons of Ham are revered as the forefathers of various black nations and peoples, signifying their esteemed position within this lineage. The firstborn son of Ham and his wife was named Cush, also known as Cush. The name Cush literally translates to black, making him the foremost patriarch of the black people and the eldest son of Ham, as well as the grandson of Noah. Cush is recognized as the ancestor of diverse peoples and lands, one of which is the kingdom of Cush. This ancient civilization thrived in the Upper Nile region, present-day Sudan. Renowned for its prosperity and influence, the Kingdom of Kush boasted its capital in Meroe, which was renowned for its wealth and flourishing trade. Existing for numerous centuries, it exerted its dominance over other areas of northeast Africa. Furthermore, several other cultures and peoples in Sudan and neighboring regions can be considered descendants of Kush. Although it is challenging to precisely determine the exact territory inhabited by the descendants of Kush, known as Kushites, as they occupied regions in both Africa and southern Arabia, the Greeks referred to them as Ethiopians, which signifies burnt faces or black faces. Eventually, the term Kush predominantly became associated with Ethiopia. Additionally, it is believed that the Kassites of Mesopotamia are also descendants of Kush. The second son of Ham was named Mizraim, which literally means Egypt in Hebrew. It can also be interpreted as two Egypts or double fortress. The term Mizraim derives from Matzer, which conveys the concept of a fortress or fortified place. The plural form Mizraim is employed to denote Egypt as a region with fortresses or as a land with distinct borders. As the name implies, the descendants of Mizraim are conventionally associated with the ancient Egyptian population that inhabited the region we now identify as Egypt. The third son of Ham was named Phut, also known as Put in Hebrew. While transliterations of the original Hebrew texts may vary in different traditions, his name remains Put. Phut, which literally means a bow, refers to the ancient African tribes that were skilled hunters and relied on bows for hunting and sustenance. According to biblical references and historical sources, Phut is considered the ancestor of Africans. There are theories suggesting that the descendants of Phut may have inhabited regions in both Africa and the Middle East. These regions include Libya, Somalia, Nubia, and other areas in East Africa. It is also possible, based on broader interpretations of the Bible, that the descendants of Phut resided in other parts of East Africa. Moving on, the fourth son of Ham and the fourth grandson of Noah through Ham's lineage is named Canaan. Canaan can be interpreted as lowlands or lands of Canaan. However, Canaan was not the ancestor of Africans but rather the Canaanites, a prominent ethnic group that inhabited the region of Canaan and is mentioned in various parts of the Bible, including the Old Testament. The Canaanites were a diverse group who occupied the region prior to the arrival of the Israelites. They eventually became the major rivals and enemies of the ancient Israelites. Canaan himself was cursed by Noah due to an incident in which Ham mocked his naked father. As a consequence of this curse, many of Canaan's descendants worshipped demonic entities, which led to their downfall, including the horrifying practice of child sacrifice. Ultimately, the descendants of Canaan were defeated by the Israelites. The sons of Ham, namely Cush, Mizraim, Phut, and Canaan, populated the African continent after the flood and also migrated to Asia, reaching Australia, where they intermingled with the descendants of Japheth, particularly the tribe of Togarmah, forming united clans. This union gave rise to indigenous peoples with mixed African and Caucasian ancestry from Japheth's lineage, and it also contributed to the emergence of certain Asian groups. Furthermore, the descendants of Ham through one of his sons reached India and became known as the Dravidian people. This concludes the story of Ham, who is considered the ancestor of the black people. Stay tuned for our series, The Origins of Peoples According to the Bible, where we will delve deeper into the history of each nation. Soon we'll be back with more information about the sons of Ham and later delving into the history of each nation. Feel free to leave your suggestions about which peoples you would like to see represented, as we will soon make videos covering these topics. See you soon.